At the mention of coffee, you may think of Brazil, Colombia, and Jamaica. It was only introduced to China very recently, but they have already become one of the biggest coffee consumers in the world.
Hi, I'm Ben from America. I drink about 5 cups of coffee every day. I know it might be a bit much, but I am very interested in it. Right now, we're in Qingtian. With more than 300 cafes, they are the most popular county in China for coffee. Out of all the places I've ever been to, I definitely feel like they are one of the most passionate people about this delightful drink. Now, time to taste the coffee. Hi.
Hello.
1 espresso, please.
Okay.
Strong.
OK， 因为青田人呢喝的相对比较重，所以说我们这个粉量呢使用的是12克，而偏常的意式浓缩呢大概就使用到7到9克。
Qingtian espresso cream is much thicker, and people here often drink it with sugar and coffee milk. Why do Qingtian people like to drink coffee with such high concentration? The story goes back to the early 20th century, when Qingtian people came down from the mountains and went out to the world.
This corner of the cafe is like a small museum. Every single item relates to coffee. This wall records the Qingtian coffee culture and its story through history.
During the Qing dynasty, Qingtian people began to go to Europe via Siberia to do business for a living. When they were tired from work, they would go to cafes to buy a cup of espresso to refresh themselves. In the 1930s, a large number of overseas Chinese people from Qingtian began to bring back coffee beans, coffee pots, and coffee makers, as well as their habit of having espresso. Nowadays, espresso is still a favorite of many Qingtian people. Today, however, as the most common drink in the city, coffee has more and more varieties. Americano, latte, mocha, and cappuccino are all popular in this small city. Even the niche Turkish sand coffee can be found in some cafes.
The spinner is like a little game. You can look at the contents of each cup, like espresso, hot milk, milk foam, and then reveal coffee latte. Wow, it's beautiful. It reminds me of the ocean.
The phrase cafe latte comes from the Italian café latte, which means coffee and milk. This young man is a latte artist of some renown in this city. He has been doing this job for 2 years and has created many complex patterns. It often requires a lot of practice and patience to blend the design pattern with milk and coffee.
一般像这种图形的话，少则几十遍，多则的话可能就要上百遍了。因为可能一个动作我们就要重复到几十遍甚至上百遍。图案大家都可以做，但是大家之间的区别就是我可以在细节方面比你做得更加的精美。所以一个动作或者说可能一个部分，我们就要去练习成百上千遍。
This shop, where Ye Guanmin works, is a coffee sales and enterprise in Qingtian, which supplies coffee beans, coffee makers, and so on. At present, Qingtian consumes about 80 tons of coffee beans every year, with the annual per capita coffee consumption reaching 50 cups, 25 times higher than the average level in China.
Here's the dry coffee fruit. Inside, we have raw coffee beans. In order to know the way in which these transform from simple green beans into the brown beans that we purchase, we need to understand the production process.
I'm in Phil Café, which has its own line of coffee beans. Selling coffee alone as the end of the supply chain can no longer meet the needs of the coffee industry in the city. Some practitioners have begun to try developing their own production lines.
This is the production studio. It's the very heart of the process that transforms all the green beans into the brown beans, with all the rich aroma and flavors that we have all come to love.
Xu Xiaowei, a master roaster, came to Lishui from Taiwan in 2018. He is choosing beans.
所以你看它这个豆子呢，其实在表面上呢，它是非常的完美的。但是呢，我们将它翻开到背面看的时候，你就会发现，这边呢有一个像陨石刻的东西，它就是重蛀豆。这样的咖啡豆呢，会影响到整个咖啡的不好的口感，所以我们需要将不好的豆子挑出来，然后放到。
Roasting beans is like cooking, and the roaster's knowledge of the beans is just as important as the cook's knowledge of the ingredients. Before the coffee is roasted, baristas need to check the quality of the raw beans again. No matter how high the quality of the raw coffee bean is, there will be defective beans. If the beans mixed with the defective ones are roasted, the final flavor will be affected.
我们都是手工一个一个挑出来的。如果我们一个人的话，挑大概2公斤的豆子，大概要2到3个小时左右。
The raw beans are sifted and then go into the baking oven. Many coffee lovers are fascinated by the aroma of coffee, but raw beans have almost no flavor at all, and only a roller coaster-like roasting in a roasting oven can give off the incredible flavors that lie deep within. Coffee roasting needs the cooperation of multiple senses. The type of bean, roasting temperature, roasting method, and roasting time will all have a decisive impact on the final presentation of coffee flavor.
I love this. It's like coffee heaven. I have so many wonderful scents that are just coming into my nose right now. I am full of happiness.
Sometimes you can appreciate the different tastes of a city by watching how people have coffee. On the streets of Qingtian, it's rare to see someone walking around with a disposable cup of coffee. People here are still used to sitting down and quietly enjoying their coffee.
The streets here are filled with the aroma of coffee. Nearly every few steps you're going to see a cafe. It's really easy to see the enthusiasm of the local people for coffee.
The place that tends to have a lot of cafes is also the place where the local culture clash is fiercest. There will be many creative coffees and new ideas. From early morning until late at night, the streets of Qingtian are always filled with the wonderful aroma of coffee. Even late at night, there are ways to get you a cup of coffee.
This is a coffee martini. It has 60 mils of vodka, a shot of espresso, and some Kahlua. This is perfect for people who love coffee but still want to get to sleep at night.
咖啡是一种精神寄托，一杯好的咖啡能为我带来愉悦的心情。
每天早上都需要来一杯咖啡，因为它可以让我保持清醒的头脑。
对年轻人来说，咖啡是一种能量之源，同样也是清甜的一种特色。
咖啡对于我来说就像一个社交工具一样，和朋友在一起的时候可以来一杯。
Now, it's time to enjoy your coffee.